Everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well. We're going to get into the topic of healthy family dynamics. Now, this is for anyone that is in a family system, whether you're a dad and you're trying to be a better dad, you're a mom and you're trying to be a better mom, or even if you're in a friendship, as long as there is just a system of individuals and you're looking at the question of how do I make sure that the system that we have of individuals, of peers that I love and I care about, that we are living a healthy life, that we are, moving forward in a direction that nurtures, each one of us versus breaks us down. So I want to share with you some key points to keep in mind, as you're addressing that key point of, or the key question of how do I have a healthy family dynamic? Number one, look at being able to provide individuals with a feeling of validation, feeling that, they are heard. So an example of this would be if you have a child and your child is sharing something with you that, at school, hey mom, I was able to do XYZ. You're listening intently. You're using eye contact, you're using nonverbal language. You're nodding your head, you're smiling. You're telling them, you're saying, well, thank you for sharing that, with me, letting me know what's going on with you when I'm not around. I really appreciate that. So it lets that child be heard, allows their statements to be validated, if you will. The other point that we want to look at whenever it comes to healthy dynamics in a family system is appreciation, appreciation being provided. So think about your family system. Are you able to identify lots of moments where appreciation has been validated? Whether it's if someone stops by and they're donating 10 minutes of their time just to have a conversation, that there's appreciation. Hey, thanks for stopping by. You didn't have to, right? You got things to do, but I appreciate you doing that. Or if you guys have, a potluck and someone brings a certain dish, you're providing appreciation. Because at the end of the day, nothing's for granted, right? No one has to do anything. So it's beautiful whenever we use those words of appreciation, of gratitude. The next one that we have that's connected to a healthy family system is, ensuring that you feel cared for and you feel loved. So again, take a step back and think about that. In my family system, are individuals feeling loved? Are they feeling cared for? And if you don't have the answer to that, it's okay. Maybe dig deep, dig into a deeper conversation. Let's say you have a child and they're 9 years old. Sit down with them. Ask the question, do you feel loved in our family? Do you feel that, dad loves you? Do you feel that dad cares about you? They're going to give you their own style of answer. If it's my son, he may nod and say, yes, leave me alone. Whereas my daughter, she may say yes and then give you a hug, right? They express a little bit differently. But what's important is that you're pushing this conversation because you have that big goal, right? The big goal of nurturing and building and creating, a healthy family dynamic. Let's go into the next point now. The next one is being able to respect personal space as well as boundaries. So, with that, I want you to think about, your family system. Is personal space being respected? An easy example of this would be when it comes to physical touch. Let's say giving a hug. If you're with your family, is it that someone has to give a hug, or do they have a choice to give a hug? So an example of that would be, let's say if I go out with my family system and there is someone there, and let's say that individual goes towards my child and says, give me a hug. Right. At that point, I want my child to be comfortable to be able to say, this is the person that I want to give a hug to, versus I feel that I need to give them a hug. So with that idea, I want you to think about it a little bit. In my family system, how do we function when it comes to that? And the last one, and I appreciate you riding with me in all of these. The last one is parents foster an environment that models healthy emotional expression. So there's a lot there, but let's keep that simple. So you've got parents within a family system, and then we want to, as parents, to be role models, to be able to model certain things. For example, we want to model in front of our kids what how to fix a tire, right? That's the first thing that came to mind. So that if my kids, broke down, they know how to fix the tire. We also want to model, areas that connect to more from an emotional expression. So let's say that I had a really rough day at work. Instead of me coming home and yelling at my wife or throwing things or doing the silent treatment, why is dad not talking? I do something different. Because if I do the silent treatment, let's just say I get home and I had a rough day and I'm just avoiding everyone, I am modeling for them. I'm teaching them something. I'm saying when you have a rough day, you can avoid everyone too. Or if I come home and I'm yelling and throwing things, then what I'm also doing is I'm saying, hey, if you have a rough day, you can throw things and you can yell because I'm doing it and I'm your role model. Right? So you're probably thinking, going, whoa, I don't want to do that. I want to do something a little bit different. Well, let's look at what's healthy, modeling. Healthy modeling will be that I get home and I share a little bit. Maybe with my kids, I'm able to say, hey, how's it going? I get past that point, then I say, I want to share something with you, Dad. Daddy had a really hard day at work today, and I am a little bit tired. I think I'm gonna try to color for like 5 minutes because coloring helps me feel a little bit better. Would you like to color with me? So what I'm doing there is I'm sharing a couple of things with them. Sharing them that dad also has rough days, right? A lot of times, children may not think that. They may think that, we know everything or we don't go through rough patches. So I'm sharing them a sense of vulnerability. And by doing that, it helps them be vulnerable too. They're able to say later down the road, well, I'm having a rough day too. I'm also sharing with them a coping skill, to feel a little bit better, to calm down. Those are just words that I use there. I've been engaged in coloring. So then they're able to connect that as well and say, okay, here's a little bit of modeling for me. If I have a rough day, I can engage in coloring. So that's a simple example there where you're able to look at how can I as a parent within the family system foster an environment that allows my children to have a healthy, system of emotional expression. So hopefully all of these strategies are supportive to you in developing a healthy family system. And there's lots more. I mean, there's so many when it comes to, the field of mental health, which is such a, beautiful and immense field of knowledge. I hope that these are able to allow you to move forward in the direction that you're looking to go towards. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, subscribe, like, share with any individuals in your community, families, parents, anyone that's looking to nurture and to improve their family system.